Good morning. Happy New Year. Get your coffee. This is going to be one of those videos. Today I really wanted to film this today. I actually I swear to God I manifested this because you know how life is. You plan for something and life happens and then you don't get to do it. But I was like, no. My very first obstacle of the very first day of the new year, the new decade, was time. And I'm like, nope. I'm gonna get done the top 3 things that I want to get done today. So I was like, what a great exercise. I am not making sense to you yet. Don't worry. I wanted to take a whole video as an opportunity to talk about my New Year's resolutions and goal setting. This is specific to me, but I want to kind of explain to you what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what I hope to get out of it, and what I'm changing. I'm changing a ton. But I really want to document the journey in a way that isn't necessarily natural for me to do, because I think, maybe it'll help a couple of people or benefit a couple of people, but mainly honestly, it's for me. It's because I tend to forget a lot of stuff. So I tend to be so focused that I actually don't remember things that happened throughout the year. So I wanted to literally on day 1 of the year do a video that sets my expectations, that explains everything that I'm doing, explains my processes, or at least my hopes, and kickstarts the documenting of my new approaches. I know I'm speaking in a lot of ambiguity, but it'll make sense. So yeah, I know it's been a big trend on social media and YouTube and everything about new year, new decade, new me, all that kind of stuff. This is the year that you take no shit. This is the year that you become a boss bitch, whatever it is that, your hashtags kind of algorithm to you, you're seeing a lot of that. So, okay, so the point of this video is to explain to you what I'm tackling in 2020, how I'm gonna approach 2020, what are my resolutions, my goals, etc., and how I'm attempting to do them. If you're interested in that and you wanna see how I'm gonna do it, then just keep watching. I still haven't cleaned that. My room is a disaster. It's been a disaster for a month. It's not one of my top 3 goals for today, so I'm probably not doing it today. Okay, so let's get started. Something that I have touched on in prior videos to varying degrees is how 2018 and 2019 basically threw me as a person for the biggest loop I've ever been thrown for. Just because I had my back happen in 2018, so I was completely out of commission. I didn't sleep, all that kind of stuff. I have a whole video about what happened to my back. I'll link it. And then in 2019, I kind of entered the year tiptoeing because there was so much up in the air still, and health-wise, physical health, wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with my job. At the time, I was kind of kicking around a couple of options, and my heart wasn't really into anything necessarily. Something was pulling me, but I wasn't really sure. It was one of those things where you're just unsure of what you want. And you're also, for me specifically, I was really unsure of what I could do with that year because of a ton of other factors, right? So I just was very reluctant to set any goals for myself because I wasn't sure I was going to meet them. And I'm a very goal-oriented person, so if I set a goal for myself and I don't meet it, I'm pissed. I'm one of those, I'm an overachiever. I'm one of those people. So 2019 was a huge learning year for me though, because I made a bunch of big decisions. I think I've done that every year, and it's part of being an adult. But I made a bunch of big decisions. I made 2 really big decisions in 2019, and you'll see, I'm going to do a whole vlog series on one of those. That'll be, the first video goes up this month, which I'll talk about in that. But yeah, so I made 2 big decisions, and in making those decisions, it kind of reminded me who I am and what I'm capable of. And I saw a thing once where it was like, oh, you just forgot who you were for a second. It's okay. Welcome back. Hello. And I'm like, that's exactly what it was. I was just got thrown for such a loop that I forgot who I was and what I'm capable of. And in 2020, I have spent the last 3, 4, 5 months of 2019 prepping for 2020. And then my dad happened, and like what I had attempted to do for 2019 got tabled to this year. So I have like some major goals for 2020, like major goals. And I am really excited and really motivated. So I know I'm going to accomplish the goals, but I'm going to tell you kind of what I'm going to do differently to make sure I do that. The number one thing, the number one like umbrella goal for me is how I approach time. This is the first year that I am completely entrepreneurial. Like I am entirely, my company is entirely virtual. I don't have side gigs. I don't work in corporate America anymore. Like there isn't some other like income revenue stream coming in. So it was a huge leap of faith for me to take. But also I was really noticing that I was taking the other work more seriously because it was like a guaranteed paycheck, and that was kind of breaking my heart. You know what I mean? Like I was noticing that I believed in myself, but I wasn't betting on myself. And that was, once I kind of had that like epiphany, it like changed my whole game. And I was just like, okay, no, I'm not doing that. Like 2020 is going to be the year that I bet on myself. Like this has to work. So in having that, and then on top of that, having a family and like time restrictions, like I have huge time sucks in my life that you just have to have. Like you have a family, so it's like literally the first 4 hours of my day were spent with my family. So you don't want to turn that blessing into a burden and go, oh, and like not be fully present for those 4 hours when you know you have 75 things you have to get done that day. Like today's New Year's Day and my to-do list is insane. I'm kickstarting a bunch of stuff, and it's really important that I actually do that today, right? Because it's like literally day one. So it's kind of a testament to like your mental approach, and like that you really have like, you know, listened and absorbed a lot of the reading and work and workshops that I've been a part of lately. When you have the time suck, but you're like, that's normal, that's life, that's what I want. Like I want my life to have this in it. So I have to find a way to manage everything and not be distracted or not be annoyed or anything not positive, because at the end of the day, this is a positive thing that's taking up my time, right? So being able to manage my time is the number one goal of mine. So how I approach time and how I manage it is super important. So the number one thing that I'm doing is I'm changing how I view my year. So I have to play catch up because of 2018 and 2019, like with my physical stuff. So 2020 is going to be 4 years worth of work in one, which sounds super intense. But what I'm doing is a thing called the 12-week year. I bought it in the field guide, and I'm going to implement a bunch of changes. So I've gotten like a bunch of books. I'll show you guys, if you guys are interested in those books and like specifically what I'm doing, I can do a video dedicated just to that. But for this, it's just mainly what my specific goals are, like what's tailored to me. With time, I really have to kind of break out of the quarters of a year and turn quarters into years, you know, so you can move quicker. It also, I think, will make me more flexible, and it gives my like overachieving kind of hunger a really positive, concrete avenue to just go down. I'm not going to view days anymore as like, well, it's just how today went. You know, I'm not doing that because I don't like doing that. So for me, changing how I view time and turning those, well, today was kind of a time suck. No, it wasn't a time suck. This happened, and you still need to achieve the following things. So you need to figure out a way to get those things done today. And some days you might be going to bed late, and some days you might be waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And that's okay, because you know what? At the end of the day, this is what you want your life to be. This is what you want to do for a living. This is how it gets done. and really showing up every day, but also having the mental clarity that processes like value and determines value. So what I do with my family, with my dad, with myself, with my self-care, whatever, those have value and they are not a lower priority thing. Career doesn't come first. Historically for me, I'm one of those people, I've always put work ahead of everything. So this is like a big exercise, right? This is like a huge mammoth issue of mine to tackle, but I'm sharing it because I'm certain at least somebody else has this problem. So I'm gonna try to do a few major things in these 12-week years. Business is, you know, my professional career is obviously a major one. And then the other one that's really big to me is my physical fitness. I used to be in really good shape before my back got like destroyed. So I'm trying to get back to that. Actually kind of timed out great because I'm healthy enough and I've had like every doctor approval to go ahead and, you know, get right back to it. So I have a Peloton. So when I was in really good shape, I would spin every day and I would do bar and Pilates every day. I worked out 2 hours a day, at least 7 days a week, maybe 2 days off a month. Like I was intense. Now I'm going to give myself some grace around the time of, I may not be doing 2 hours a day. And I certainly cannot start at 2 hours a day. I had surgery 4 months ago. So like there's no way. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna not do anything. I really want to give myself the grace with a 12-week year. You know what I mean? Like take the first 12 weeks and maybe try to do it every day. You know, what does everyday activity look like? So if I spin 4 days a week and then I do bar 4 days a week, you know, so I'm not necessarily, or Pilates or whatever I'm doing, because I have online memberships. I have a Peloton, so I've got the Peloton membership, then I've got an online subscription to a bar and Pilates service. So I want to kind of navigate that to where every day includes something, but I'm not killing my back or doing some kind of irreparable damage, or anymore really, in an effort to get back to that, right? I need to give myself a bit of a runway. So that's a huge one. The other thing that's really important in terms of that is my diet. So I need to prioritize that again. And I used to be amazing at it. I used to be like, I had that thing so down to a science. I need to get back at it. So something I'm gonna really try to do is count my macros. And when I was in really good shape, I would track all my food, and I didn't necessarily do the macro completely. I would kind of more track for protein, but I would track for like how I felt with food. So it was kind of like a blend of like food journaling, intuitive eating, and a little bit of macro. And it seemed to work fine for me, but I also was I weighed less and I worked out a ton. So I'm not there currently. So I thought I would do is try macros for a full 12-week period of time, see how that goes, see if I've made any kind of headway. And if so, it will have been enough time to develop it into a habit, and then I can continue it, you know, like, but if it isn't conducive to my life or becomes way more of a struggle than it should be, I still have a ton of time to pivot and make headway. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna just like give up, I'm gonna pivot. So, oh, and I even bought like a food scale because I was like, I actually never have done that before. So let's try that. So I went ahead and I, you know, kind of got the ball rolling on all of that kind of stuff. So I'm really pumped about that. Something else that I'm doing that I'm really excited about, I kind of touched on a little bit earlier, was I am awful at remembering the little things throughout the year. Like I am terrible at it. It's actually one of the best things about having like technology is like your phone or your computer or something will tell you, hey, this is the year ago. And you're like, oh dude, I don't even remember that. I'm gonna start vlogging every week. And I want to do that, A, for content, and I think it'd be nice to have that on my channel, but B, so I can have this as a reference, so I can look back and go, oh, that's right, you know, that happened, or like, I can use it to document, you know, the good and the bad, and also just to kind of see, for lack of a better phrase, how the sausage got made, you know? So yeah, so I'm really excited to bring to you a lot more in this year. You're gonna, and I say this, and I know you guys are like, okay, whatever, but like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you guys way more access to my life. I'm gonna show you guys stuff that I literally a year ago would never have put on the internet. Because I am to the point, I've done like so many female entrepreneurial workshops and like just women focused, you know, groups and whatnot. I am such a reformed like sharer. Like I used to be like, oh no, you should share, but I never would. Now I'm like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. So I'm gonna put a lot more out there. Hopefully in an effort to just, if nothing else, show you that it can be done. It can be done with a million reasons not to do it. It can be done with a lot of uncertainty. And I'm gonna try to do the everyday of it, you know, like just, I'm gonna do weekly vlogs. I've decided that. But I wanna show you that like bad days happen and good days happen, and they happen a lot, and they tend to happen next door to each other. So it's important for me to remind myself of that, because I tend to only remember like huge parts of it. And you know, how you got to that huge part is really important when you look back and go, well, how did I do that? Or if you're anything like me, you tend to black out the hard stuff. And I don't want to do that anymore. You know, like I think it's really vital to remember it's not all sunshine and puppy dogs, even though you want it to be. And I was watching this documentary last night, and I was watching the documentary series on Kevin Hart last night, and he was talking about how you need to embrace your bullshit, like embrace your flaws. Your flaws, what makes you, your imperfections, what makes you see perfection and like aim higher and do better and want for more. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, God, what a perfectly timed thing to say, because it's true. And I feel like everybody's super motivated right now. Everybody's really jazzed because it's the new year, new decade, whatever. But for me, I'm taking it as like obviously all of that, but in addition to it, I'm going to reapproach how I share, what I share, the frequency, and also just how I determine value, and most importantly, my time, because I feel like I have a ton of opportunity for development with my time management. And you know, kind of when to give in, you know what I mean? So, okay, and then to like tie it up, right? Because I had physical fitness, I want to get back in shape, I want to lose some weight, I want to like be healthy again. I just also want to just prioritize that component of my life. I have like kind of numerical goals on that, but like I'm not going to be devastated about something because I understand it's way more 360 holistic than it is like a scale. The other thing, I'm going into territories that I am not necessarily very good at, or that I have historically kind of shirked or balked at. So I need to learn a lot, and I need to experiment. I need to try stuff. So I'm the kind of person that like, you don't know what you don't know. And I really don't want to spend like a ton of time listening to somebody who claims to know what they're doing just because they refer to me or whatever, and I don't care. You know, that's my biggest problem, is I'm all or nothing. Like I either care or I don't. So I have to figure out how to do a bunch of business stuff in a sector or in like a particular field that I haven't historically cared about. I need to take that more seriously. So that's going to be just getting over, just that learning curve is going to be pretty intense. And I know that's really particular. It's really, again, it's really tailored to me, but it's going to be something that you're going to see it. You're going to see it on my Instagram because my company's virtual. I have a ton of room for growth on this. I mean, I feel like I've got 99% room for growth on this. So yeah, so I have no idea kind of what avenues I'm necessarily going to pursue on it, but I know high level what I need to work on, and chunking out those goals I'll vlog throughout the year, right? Like specifically what I'm trying to tackle, how I'm doing it, or, you know, whatever. I want that conversation to be going. And then for y'all, you know, feel free to chime in as well, because I don't know what you do for a living. For all I know, you might be super helpful for me. So yeah, so I hope this video was interesting and maybe informative. I hope you guys got some value out of it either way. Yeah, let me know what your resolutions are, what your goals are for 2020. If you guys are excited for the new decade, I feel like everybody is, but let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching. I so sincerely appreciate all the love and support. You guys are just the loveliest group of people. I think to myself every single time I see a comment that's just so sweet, I'm like, God, it's so rare that adults who don't know me personally, like don't interact with me in the flesh, leave just the loveliest comments. And it just reinforces the belief that there is just goodness everywhere. And I cannot tell you how deeply grateful I am that you have shared some of that goodness with me. It's amazing. So thank you. And I hope you had a wonderful new year. And I hope you guys have a very happy and healthy and successful and productive new year. I hope whatever comes your way, you can tackle it. And I will see y'all very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Have a good day. Bye.